Question 10. The water in 4 cylinders below has the same temperature at 30 degrees Celsius. So you can see here A, B, C and D. They all have the same temperature, but what is different is the volume. The first one has 60 mils, second one is 120 mils, third one is 90 mils, the fourth is the same as B. So B and D are the same with 120 mils. Now, Leela added 50 mils of boiling water to each cylinder. Which one of the following graphs shows the correct changes in the temperature of water when the boiling water was added? Now, let us make a note here. Before we start, we know that after adding the boiling water, B and D will have the same temperature. So after adding the boiling water, B and D will have the same temperature. How do we know this? It's because B and D has the same volume. So after adding the boiling water of 50 mils, okay, both B and D will have the same temperature. So if we look at the graphs, we must look at B and D and see whether they have the same bar graphs. Okay, so for number 1, option 1, B and D are not the same. So option 1 we can cancel out. Option 2, B and D are the same. Option 3, B and D are also the same. Option 4, B and D are also the same. Okay, and then we look at options, the other options again. We look at A and C. A and C should be different. Okay, so we can cancel out option 3 because option 3, A and C is equal. A and C cannot be equal in this case because the volume is different. Now, let's make another note here. If you look at A, it has the smallest volume. So lowest volume, what will happen to the lowest volume? Okay, so if you look at A, which is the lowest volume, what will happen to the measuring cylinder with the lowest volume is that boiling water loses less heat. To the water with the lowest volume. Okay, so what happens after this when it loses less heat? When it loses less heat, what happens is that temperature of water after adding the boiling water will be higher. So let us make this clear again. The one with the lowest volume, after you add the boiling water, the temperature eventually will be higher. Why? Because there's less water to absorb the heat. Whereas when you have the more water, the temperature should be lower. So let's take a look at the options. Which one has A as the highest temperature? Is option 4. Option 4 has A as the highest temperature because A has the lowest volume. So answer is 4.